What's up, Cowboys Nation? Before we dive into today's incredible story, I just want to remind you of something important. This Cowboys team is working every single day to improve, whether it's on the field, in the film room, or through the kinds of players they bring into the locker room. This organization is trying to perfect the formula for success. And if you love seeing stories of resilience, passion, and determination, then do me a favor. Go ahead and smash that like button right now! It helps more Cowboys fans find this content and shows you're locked in just like the team is. Now let's get into it, because today we're talking about one of the most inspirational signings of the offseason and the latest update on a key superstar who's working to return stronger than ever. So here's the headline. The Dallas Cowboys have signed undrafted free agent tight end Tyler Neville. Now I know what you're thinking. Undrafted guys usually face an uphill battle. And it's true. Neville will enter training camp fighting for a spot in a tight end room that already features Jake Ferguson, Luke Schoonmaker, and several other talented players. But Tyler Neville, this man has been fighting uphill his entire life. And winning. Let's rewind this story a little. Tyler Neville grew up in Williamsburg, Virginia. From the moment he entered the world, the odds were against him. He was born without hearing, and throughout his childhood, he underwent over 20 surgeries to restore his senses. That alone would be enough for most people to give up on any dream of playing professional sports. But Neville, he kept going. Then came another massive blow. As a freshman in high school, just a week after making the varsity basketball team, Neville began feeling discomfort in his chest. Doctors ran x-rays and gave his family devastating news. Tyler had cancer. He remembers coming home and seeing both his parents at the house, which never happened at that time of day. And then, the heartbreaking conversation. The doctor called. The tests were back. Tyler had growths in his chest, his armpits, and lymph nodes. At 14 years old, he was facing a life-or-death battle. But you know what his first question was? Can I still go to basketball practice tonight? That tells you everything you need to know about this young man. Despite the brutal months of chemotherapy, despite the physical toll and emotional strain, Tyler never stopped fighting. Just after his 16th birthday, he rang the bell, cancer-free, and then he switched sports. Neville joined the football team at Lafayette High School. He played both tight end and linebacker, and it quickly became clear that this kid was special. He received over 30 Division I offers, eventually choosing to attend Harvard University. Yeah, you heard that right. The guy beat cancer, learned to hear, and then went on to Harvard. After 4 years with the Crimson, he transferred back home to play his final college season at the University of Virginia. In 2024, he posted 37 receptions for 394 yards and 2 touchdowns. Solid production in a tough conference. Fast forward to 2025, the NFL draft comes and goes. Neville doesn't hear his name called, but then the call comes in from Dallas. The Dallas Cowboys signed Tyler Neville as an undrafted free agent, giving him the chance to live out his lifelong dream of playing in the NFL. And here's where it gets even more powerful. Neville has taken his experiences and started giving back. He launched the Tyler Neville Foundation, which supports children undergoing cancer treatment, aiming to be a source of strength and hope for kids fighting the same battle he once fought. Cowboys offensive coordinator Brian Schottenheimer has been emphasizing high character throughout this offseason, and with Neville, the team has added a player who exemplifies that in every way. This guy is more than just a long-shot tight end. He's a fighter. He's a role model. He's the kind of player you want in your locker room. I think without those medical issues, I wouldn't be the man I am today, Neville said. So although they were tough, I'm better for going through them. Cowboys Nation, how can you not root for this guy? Now, while we're all inspired by Neville's journey, let's shift gears to another major storyline. Trevon Diggs' rehab. Diggs has had a rough stretch, no other way to put it. After emerging as a star with 11 interceptions in his second season, he signed a massive 5-year, $97 million deal in 2023. But since then, Just 13 games played. First came the torn ACL ahead of Week 3 in 2023, then came the setbacks. Jerry Jones expressed frustration that Diggs was doing some of his rehab work away from the team facilities and hinted that the corner might have rushed. Things or not followed the preferred protocols. The result? Another surgery. This time it was a chondral bone graft procedure, a complicated and significant operation. Now here's the update. Jerry Jones recently said he's much more satisfied with how Diggs is rehabbing this time around. We have a good idea he's working hard. That's very important because if he is diligent in his rehab process, he'll get back quicker, Jerry said. And then came the zinger. Classic Jerry. If he has not worked as hard, he is more subject to injury. He's learned that one time. Translation: Jerry believes Trevon didn't follow the script last time and paid the price. This time, he's back in line. Now, whether you like how Jerry involves himself in every corner of this franchise or not, there's no doubt the Cowboys need Trevon Diggs healthy, and soon. If he returns to form and can line up opposite Darren Bland and Stephon Gilmore, assuming Gilmore stays healthy and productive, the secondary becomes one of the nastiest in the league. Between Neville's signing and Jerry's remarks about Diggs, you can sense a theme here. Accountability. Character. Doing things the right way. Whether it's a rookie long shot or a $97 million superstar, the Cowboys are clearly emphasizing responsibility and commitment. And after last season's collapse, maybe that's exactly what this locker room needs. Look, not every undrafted rookie is going to make the team. That's just the reality of the NFL, but what Tyler Neville represents is something every successful team needs: resilience, humility, leadership. And if Trevon Diggs can take his rehab seriously, stay locked in, and return to his Pro Bowl form, that could be the spark this defense needs to take another leap in 2025. The 2025 NFL Draft may have just wrapped up, but the Dallas Cowboys are showing no signs of slowing down. On Wednesday, the team officially waived 4 players: offensive lineman Jack Anderson, running back Malik Davis, linebacker Brock Mogensen, offensive lineman Earl Bostic. The move was announced via the team's PR account on X, and while none of these cuts come as a shock, it's a clear message from the front office. No one's job is safe. Why these moves matter more than you think. You might be looking at those names and saying, okay, no stars were cut. What's the big deal? But here's the thing. This isn't just about 4 fringe players. It's about how serious the Cowboys are in reshaping their identity. Let's break it down. Malik Davis, the end of the line? Let's start with the name. Most fans probably recognize Malik Davis. The former Florida Gator had a few flashes back in 2022 when he appeared in 12 games, rushing 38 times for 161 yards and a touchdown. He also caught 6 passes for 63 yards. Not eye-popping numbers, but enough to show potential as a depth back. In 2023, Davis only played in 3 games, and in 2024 he was completely off the radar, stashed on the practice squad without a single snap in the regular season. This offseason, the Cowboys completely overhauled the running back room. With Rico Dowdle and Ezekiel Elliott both gone, Dallas hit the gas on change. They signed Javonte Williams and Miles Sanders in free agency. They drafted Jaden Blue out of Texas and Phil Maffa from Clemson. That's 4 fresh faces, all coming for snaps. It's not hard to connect the dots. Malik Davis was part of the old plan. This team is moving forward without him. Jack Anderson and Earl Bostic, O-line depth. Takes a hit next up, the offensive line. Jack Anderson, a 7th-round pick by the Bills. Back in 2021, is now 26 years old. He's bounced around between Buffalo, Philadelphia, and finally Dallas, but never found stable footing. He's appeared in just a handful of games over his career, mostly as a fill-in. Earl Bostic, meanwhile, was always a developmental piece. Undrafted in 2023, he came to Dallas with solid athletic traits but raw technique. He was viewed as a project, but after a year of little progress, the Cowboys have decided to move on. Now, with rookie tackle picks coming in from the 2025 draft and some expected returns from injury, this shakeup isn't shocking. But it shows that depth pieces have to produce or they'll be replaced, plain and simple. Brock Mogensen, the long shot linebacker. Lastly, linebacker Brock Mogensen, another undrafted free agent from a small school background. Mogensen had almost no chance to crack the active roster with the Cowboys already loaded at linebacker. Between Micah Parsons, Damone Clark, and DeMarvion Overshone coming back healthy, there just wasn't a path for Mogensen. This is part of a common cycle. Post-draft, teams bring in new undrafted rookies and need to clear space, which usually means guys like Mogensen are the first to go. What this means for the 2025 Cowboys. Now, here's the bigger picture, and this is where it gets really interesting, especially for fans who are still fuming over last season's 7-10 collapse. This isn't just about trimming the roster, this is a culture reset. Let's not forget Dallas was one of the worst rushing teams in the entire NFL last season. 24th in rushing attempts, 27th in total rushing yards, dead last in rushing touchdowns. That's not just a stat, that's an identity crisis. For years, the Cowboys prided themselves on having a powerful run game. Think of the glory days with Emmett. More recently, with a prime Zeke behind a dominant O-line. That ground-and-pound mentality was part of the team's DNA. But in 2024, all of that fell apart. Now, with Brian Schottenheimer officially taking over as head coach and a clear push for offensive balance, Dallas is trying to right that wrong. And fast, the moves we're seeing this week, they're part of that process. All right, it's your turn to weigh in. What do you think about Tyler Neville's story? Do you believe he has a real shot at making the 53-man roster? And what about Trevon Diggs? Are you confident he can bounce back and be the elite corner we know he can be? Let us know in the comments below. I want to hear your thoughts on both of these huge stories. And before you head out, if you found this story inspiring or informative, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on those notifications so you never miss a beat on all things Cowboys. Big season ahead, and we're just getting started. Let's go Cowboys Nation.